Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into another edition of SG1 Live. And I think we're live, Norma. And we're live across multiple platforms, hopefully.
Hopefully.
I'm praying, Norma. I'm Alex Parra. Thank you for joining us. Beside me, the lovely, the talented, the on time. This time it wasn't her fault, Miss Norma Morales. Norma, before we get into what a week it's been, how are you?
I'm recovering.
You look tired, Norma. I look tired.
I think we all look tired. I think we're all recovering, and yeah.
What a week it's been, Norma.
It's been crazy.
I don't even know how to best convey the frustration,
Yep.
the disappointment, the anxiety I think many people have gone through. It's just been, can I say, a hell of a week, Norma?
Yeah, you could say
I
whatever
think
at
I
this point,
just did.
Alex. Yeah, you could say whatever at this point.
This is like being on cable. I can curse, right?
That's as much as you could get.
Thank you for joining us. We're live from our Westland campus this morning because our hope, and I believe we're very close, Norma, we're going to be back on the field in 2 days on Monday.
Yes.
God willing. Hopefully no more issues, no more problems. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate all of you that are tuning in. If you're watching us across different platforms, please let us know. We're supposed to be on the Twitter,
Yes.
the little bird. We're supposed to be on Facebook.
Yes.
We're supposed to be on YouTube.
Yep.
We're supposed to be on, what's the other one, Norma?
The Twitch.
The Twitch.
Yep.
And even on LinkedIn, Norma. So we can get some good business connections and I can pass your resume on to other soccer clubs.
That's a good way, right?
Hey, you're going to get offers after
I'm
this,
good.
Norma.
Yeah.
Every youth soccer club in America is going to be calling. Who's that Norma lady? We need her.
Maybe we should put my phone number on the bottom of the screen.
Basically, you're soliciting work. That's not right, Norma.
No, Alex,
That's not
never,
right, Norma.
never.
No, we would love for you to be elsewhere, Norma, but no, we wouldn't. We're just kidding,
Oh,
Norma.
you just put that on air. We got that as evidence.
We love Norma. We wouldn't be the same club without her. We'd be much, much worse. You notice the way I did that? Just to be clear. So, Norma, it's been quite a week. By the way, officially, SG1 family members, if you have comments or questions, let them, because my ears are cold.
Yeah,
I told Mr. Producer, ears are cold. What can we do?
I actually like this.
Do you?
I mean, the only issue with it is that your voice is like really in my ear, and it's cringing. But other than that, I kind of like. I'm able to hear the producer. I mean, this is really good.
Women would pay to have my voice in their ear, Norma.
Oh, you think?
I do.
In pesos.
In español.
Pero
As well. That's part of the gig today, to make sure people are watching us and listening and that we're actually on the air. So I don't know, Norma.
Yeah,
we're
I see
taking
that
we're
we're
taking a leap of faith, but that's the most important thing. Norma, just officially, no games this weekend. I think it's obvious, but hopefully, and we tried sending out updates throughout the week, Norma, but I know some people literally, I was in the dark for 2.5 days. Well, some people say I've been in the dark for about 3 years.
no, I think it's been longer, but
It's longer.
yeah.
I was like, let's just wheel him over there. I get it. Uncle Alex is a little lost. Norma, how long were you without power?
Oh gosh, Alex, I couldn't even
Electricity.
count. You know, it was frustrating because your service on phones were completely down. You
Right.
know, and it was hard to really even communicate with people because of that.
It was.
And then when you did get electricity, everyone's running around trying to like charge phones and like do what you needed to do before it all goes out. I mean, it was crazy.
Norma, one of the things that I learned from this past week is how frail our world is. We have this assumption that, oh, look, all the stuff we have.
Yeah.
Literally, Norma, without electricity, that led to not having water, which, by the way, some people are still going through.
Yep.
Obviously, forget internet. Phone service was down. I mean,
Yep.
I don't have to tell people out there how vulnerable we are. And that to me was the scary part that I felt. That insecure. And by the way, I'm going to get into this in a few minutes. Our government, good luck. They were on planes to Cancun. We can talk about that later. But we can't rely on the government, Norma, right? We can't rely on the government. We got to rely on ourselves.
Right. And this just tells us, I mean, this is an example that, of course, that we had to go through to understand that we've got to prepare ourselves and prepare for the worst because we've all experienced it, and I feel really bad, Alex. I mean, we were able to layer. We still had, the houses that, maybe barely had insulation and they were barely surviving.
But it's amazing that our infrastructure wasn't ready. And you're right, we're the lucky ones, Norma.
I mean, those that don't have any of that,
You,
Alex.
I saw pictures of you in your hot tub in the middle of the living room. That was great. Good idea, Norma. I don't know how you kept the bubbles going, but the picture.
That probably was from the
Okay, I understand. I know you had those hot tub parties, Norma, which, by the way, I've never been invited to.
And you won't.
I won't. At least you're honest. I appreciate that. But we make light, Norma, but
Yeah.
there's still a lot of people, number one, that are stressed out because they don't know when the power's going to go off again. I mean, we all love the winter weather. For about 1 hour when the snow fell, oh, this was great. And then it was like, this is getting old. Let's get back to our weather.
I mean, it's different. You know, if it snowed and we all had electricity, I think everyone would enjoy it, right? But because we didn't have the real necessities,
Right.
no one could really enjoy the snow, which we never really get.
I agree.
You know, so it was to a point to where you didn't want to go out to the snow and then come back in and it was still cold in your house. Because
Well,
there's, you know,
I at some point I remember I woke up one of the nights, Norma, and I could see my breath inside my bedroom. You know, the little
I thought that was normal for you. You always have that
the hot air.
hot
Thank you,
air
Norma.
coming out.
I set myself up for that one perfectly, and you took advantage.
I mean, I could still see the hot air. I even see the hot air, especially when it's 100 degrees out here. So
That's true.
yeah,
That's true.
normal
By the
for
way,
you.
this jacket, my SG1 jacket, I have to say, saved me. I've been wearing it for 5 days straight. Can you smell
I'm
that?
sure you haven't washed it.
Can you smell that, Norma?
Yeah, I can't.
It's the Westland smell, I call it. Not that Westland smells bad, but you know what I'm saying.
No, I know.
By the way, Norma, so I've got to mention this, and I know I'm going to get enough flack. Maybe we're not on the air, but we'll see. What Senator Ted Cruz did, Norma, to me is unforgivable. Even if he has the means. By the way, he lied like 6 times trying to explain it away. Just own it. Yeah, I wasn't doing much. I was taking the kids to Cancun because I'm rich. Live with it. I would have preferred that to what he's doing now.
Yeah.
But it shows, number one, at that level, and maybe at any level, they're not worried about this. They're worried about themselves. I get it. That's cool. But own it.
Yeah. I mean,
Own it.
You own it. And the thing is, how I see it, you know, people are like, oh, well, if I had the money or whatever, I'd go to Cancun too. Okay, but the thing is, he's in a position to oversee Texas as well. You
If
know what I
nothing
mean?
else, symbolically.
So, right. And so, and the thing is that, you know, to me, I don't think it's not a way to really, it's not a good a look. Do you know what I mean? It's like if one of the board members of your company, corporate or whatever, leaves and,
Sure.
you know, the company's going down and there's nothing and you just leave. I mean, that does not show any good faith at all.
It doesn't. Aldo, by the way, is watching us. Crystal is watching us. Thank you guys for tuning in. And we're not going to get political. And you don't have to agree with his politics or disagree. It just doesn't look good.
Yeah.
Now, on the other side, there are other politicians that do nothing anyway and say they do.
Yeah.
So you know, and our producer and I were discussing this before the show. I'm not going to name names, but maybe I should. You know, there's other politicians who just want a photo op, and that's what they're in it for themselves.
Yeah.
That's what I learned. Number one, they're in it for themselves.
Right.
Both parties. Number one. Number two, don't rely on the government to help you. Look what happened with Katrina. Days that people were waiting, and they had
Yeah.
to continue to wait.
Yeah.
So one of the lessons is we have to be prepared, Norma, because
Definitely.
you never know.
Definitely. And if you notice, Alex, has always been a pattern that the ones that really help us here, especially in the Houston area, is probably don't know these people, but
Bun B,
they're
is that
it's a rapper.
is that a
But-
breakfast roll?
no, but there is, you know, there is local community people that, you know, that really help our community overall.
Right.
And they don't have to do it, but they do. You know? So, I mean, I just take it as, you know, you would think someone at the higher end would somehow be able to help. Somehow. I don't know. This is a whole different segment. I mean, we
It
could
is.
go
It
go
is.
hours
It
and
is.
hours in regards to
It
this.
is.
But
And maybe one day we should. I think right now, Norma, it's about getting back to quote unquote normal.
right.
We're excited that we're back out here at the Westland campus, getting ready to actually, we've checked on the fields. We do have a few issues with some water, but we should be back on. Literally, I see Coach Adam Girdlestone now, our DOC, walking the fields now.
Yeah.
I
back in
think
the
we're going to
field.
be ready for Monday. So God willing, kids are back in school. God willing, we're back to training on Monday, and the season, which was supposed to start this weekend, ladies and gentlemen, will be starting a week from today on
Right.
the weekend. This is for USC, and literally, I think we can take a shot of our DOC Adam Girdlestone out there walking the fields. He's been out there for about 6 hours. I don't know what he's doing.
He's walking every inch, Alex. I should say on the field, just making sure that every grass is in its right area.
Right. No. But with him and Roland Benavides, who take care of the field so well, they know every blade. They know.
Thankful we have them handling our fields rather than
Uncle Alex.
that. Exactly.
Oh yeah, I used to mow, Norma, but I thought it was
know.
like the Indy 500.
That's the thing. I know how you handle the field maintenance. So
you know I handle everything.
That's how I'm.
Not well.
I'm glad we've got people who know how to do it. So no disrespect to you, Alex.
No, none taken. I'm just right here next to you.
Yeah, no disrespect.
It's okay. Norma, we're going to talk a little bit about SG1 and programs later on in the show, as we call it. We're also going to have a very special guest.
Very special.
Very special. He's not here yet, but hopefully he'll get here.
He is. He's in the trailer with makeup right now.
He's in the trailer with makeup. That's where I spend like 6 days before I come out here. The trailer with makeup.
It's just 6?
Yeah. And my 10 pay, Norma. I'm going to the full wig now.
You might as well.
At this point, right?
You might as well. You could do straight or curly. Straight or curly.
Straight or curly.
Yeah.
Huh. I just want that 70s Afro look, Norma. Big. No? Too much? Did I just offend someone? Why's everybody looking at me like it's a look? It may not be the best look, but it's a look.
I mean, right. Yeah, go ahead.
So Coach Ivan Gonzalez will be with us, and we're going to be talking about, well, him in general and something he just accomplished in the last couple of weeks. That's the tease, Norma.
I know. We can't reveal it yet.
No, we can't reveal. No, not in this show, Norma.
Something to be very proud of, I should say.
SG1 After Hours, maybe. That's another show. So we're going to talk about that. But before we go to break, Norma, I did want to mention, although we're living in a very terrestrial world, did you hear about this landing in Mars? And what is that called? Perseverance?
Perseverance, uh-huh.
We have to talk about NASA. My producers are yelling at us like, what's wrong with him?
I know, right?
No, aren't you excited about life in Mars, Norma? What do you think? What the biggest news after this week could be aliens found, society in Mars. Are you ready for that?
I am.
Yeah.
I'd like to know really what's going on.
Do you believe in extraterrestrial life?
It could be possible. I can't say I truly believe.
a couple of extraterrestrials. That one for sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
Check their papers, please. Entry into the country. I think we might lose half the club that way, Norma. I'm being told that it's cold in Mars, Norma, as in freezing.
Yeah.
And they're having power issues as well. So, but okay. The cool part about this, when I know, and maybe those of you, ladies and gentlemen, that are watching, and thank you for watching, they're gonna take like a little drone or a helicopter and start flying it around Mars, and send back pictures. That's cool.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Because I'm excited to see what it looks like.
Me too. Me too.
And is there any tracks?
I don't know, Norma.
Do you know what I mean?
Like Bigfoot tracks?
Like
is that what you mean?
Bigfoot tracks, or
a Sasquatch or two?
Yeah. Yeah.
Martian.
And how cold is it?
I don't know. Our producer said it's cold.
Like maybe they know.
Yeah,
like,
we need some.
No, is that an '80s movie?
No.
Oh.
With what's his name? You guys don't. Matt Damon. Yeah. Hey, you can talk in my ear, by the way. Thank you, Mr. Producer. Matt Damon. You don't remember that movie, Norma?
No. Maybe I need to watch.
You're still in shock for the week.
I'm still defrosted from the week.
I know. If you, ladies and gentlemen, are defrosting, come join us.
Complain, but the sun is great. It's
Wait. You're not going to complain?
I never complain.
Never ladies and gentlemen. No.
But the sun feels great, I should say.
The sun does feel nice, Norma.
I'm
excited to be back after. Oh, too much, too hot. Turn it down, please.
No, keep
down the
keep
sun.
as is. We want this weather to keep as is. We don't want it to get any colder.
We're excited also for one of our partners, Norma, Federal American Grill.
Oh.
That finally opened this week. I know that they were stressing. We were there last weekend.
Yes.
Norma, last Saturday we were live from Federal Grill. We enjoyed it immensely. The food was great, Norma.
Oh my!
Yeah.
I'm like.
Oh yeah, you're slobbering.
Slobbering right now.
I know. I'm the
same way. It is so good, Alex, and the shrimp and grits.
Oh, I told you.
I know that's
that's
Alex's favorite, and I did get it. And
it is.
Oh my god!
And you'll keep getting it. Yeah.
And I was.
Are you sure you haven't gone a couple of times?
I put a faja on, so.
What do they call it? Spanks?
Spanks.
Yeah, I got a couple of Spanks on.
I like to say faja.
Faja. I like that word.
I like faja better.
Faja. Faja. Look at look at Mr. Producer. He's all over this. I love it.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, I know. If you could
And
show.
and
Yeah.
in Federal Grill overall, I mean, the atmosphere is just so nice. I
It
mean,
is.
it's the like what we talked about before. The design, how they designed it was is very chic.
You feel comfortable, don't
It's
you?
comfortable. It's not like where you walk in and you feel
Like your house.
no.
Why am I here?
Where you feel like
Stuffy.
stuffity, too uppity up. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's just it's nice, and the food is fabulous.
It is. It is. It is, Norma. And I'm excited that they're open. I'm
Yes.
excited that we're back open on Monday. Hopefully, you ladies and gentlemen are not having any issues. By the way, if we need help, we need to help someone. Let's do it now. Norma, literally, I don't want to get too personal. I know in my family, there's been some pipe issues.
Yeah.
There's been some flooding. A lot of people are going through this. It's not just one or two.
And water, the boiling. We're all still under boiling water.
It's crazy.
and-
I mean, hey, I grew up in Mexico City. This reminds me of Mexico City in the 70s, to be honest with you. I'm just saying.
Well, it's just like
what
when
does that mean?
Even when
You
you,
know,
go to
right?
do you still?
Pause.
Really?
I prefer the Corona. Not the virus, but the beer, Norma. That's what I prefer to drink. Or the tequila.
I'm sure. I'm.
But
This is bad, guys.
I know. Hand me my drink, Mr. Producer. I can't get through
Is
another
that
segment.
what's in the Yeti bottle?
Shh.
It's
It's frozen, Norma. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us, SG1 Live, today at our Westland campus. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about some of the programs that we have at SG1. Also, a little bit further in the show. In a little bit, we'll have a very special guest, Ivan Gonzalez, and we want your comments, your questions. Here today, alongside Norma Morales, I'm Alex Parra. Quick break. We'll be back here on SG1 Live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back in. SG1 Live, today live from our Westland campus in Katy, Texas. I'm Alex Parra. Beside me, hi Norma, how are you?
Oh, good, Alex. How about
You
you?
all right? How do you like the music today,
I
Norma?
like it. It's some good music, right?
This is for your jazzercise?
This is better than the music you picked, Alex. I have to give it to the producer.
Whatever, Norma.
They're doing a
Whatever,
great
Norma.
job. Great job, producer.
I think so. The music's killing me in my ears, but I'm not complaining to our producers or anything. But I guess I just did, didn't I? You know, Norma, you get to that point in time where you know you're getting old when little things
Oh,
like
gosh.
little things like people start bothering you
I'm starting to get there, Alex. I'm starting to get there.
because of me, probably. We're live from our Westland campus. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, I hope that you and your family are doing well, that you've gotten through this. I guess really it's been, for many, a catastrophic week. I mean, people have lost their lives, Norm. It was really, really hard. It's been difficult. It's been stressful.
Right.
I'm here. By the way, I did go to a store yesterday, the local Kroger, Norma. Shelves were empty.
Yeah.
So I know you'll be shopping soon if you haven't done so already. You're always preparing,
Well,
right?
you know what, Alex? I mean, luckily for Facebook, I had a friend that posted the weather like on Tuesday. I had texted you. I
Sure,
remember earlier
yeah.
in the week, and I'm like,
You prepared.
I'm like, I'm getting groceries for at least 2 weeks worth.
So can I come to your house tonight? And eat?
I'm actually down almost to the end of it, so I'll need to go to the grocery store.
So your family ate 2 weeks worth of provisions in 1 week.
Yeah.
I'm just
pretty-
saying.
Pretty much.
I'm not judging.
Pretty much.
I just think that's one of those
Pretty
things. Norma, beside you, there's a couple of signs behind us of one of the programs we have, the Extra Time program here at SG1.
Right.
That's one of the many programs we have going on, and we'll talk about Extra Time in a moment. But I first wanted to talk about our Rising Stars program, Norma, the babies as we call them, the
Right.
little ones. That program, I believe, Norma, we're over 35 kids registered.
Yes. Yep.
So the Rising Stars program is for the youngest kids, 4 and 5-year-olds.
yeah.
Right? Do you
Four-
remember being 4 or 5?
Yeah, that's a long time ago, Alex.
A very long time
Very
ago
long
for
time.
you, Norma.
Actually, that's the age that I started soccer.
Really?
that
And
when
what happened?
I know. Age took
No,
over.
I didn't officially start, Norma, until I was later. We'd play around in the neighborhood. I grew up where we just go out and play.
So you just played. Okay.
And we played against the bigger kids, and they beat you up, and you did the best you could to
Okay.
survive.
Yeah. No. I
But-
I was literally put in a club league.
Really?
Yeah. About 5 years
Wow.
old. So I do remember that.
Do you, where? This is in Georgetown.
Yeah.
Georgetown, Texas.
Yeah.
Just so that you know. So our Rising Stars program, Norma, it's really also a partnership, Norma, with families, with parents, because even if the kids come out and train once a week,
Right.
they have a game on the weekend, the kids still themselves have to touch the ball, and part of that is doing it at home, doing it with your family, doing it in a safe place, of course, inside your house.
Right.
That's how you start developing the skills. That's how you become a better player, by having the ball at your feet.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically learning the basics of soccer, And the thing is, at that age, they're not going to learn the scissors,
Probably not.
but they could get there.
Maradona or
Yeah,
I get it.
you
yeah.
know what I mean? So it's more of touching the ball, stopping the ball.
And look, I'll be honest with you. You also get to see the child's own initiative.
Right.
If he or she wants more.
Yeah.
Some kids go, oh, the ball. Okay, I'm going to go do something else.
Pick
They're
some
not
flowers. Yeah.
They're not interested, maybe. But the ones that do, I think, can start developing quicker.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not about getting there quicker. I don't think it's a race. It's about having a good foundation.
Yeah.
One of the things we see in club soccer, ladies and gentlemen, is we have kids that show up or start playing or say they've been playing club soccer and they're 12, 13, and they don't have basics and fundamentals.
Even how to throw the ball in. Alex,
Norma, I'm calling those sometimes in high school games,
Yeah.
to be honest with you.
Yeah, they're like,
Yes, they are. Or lifting their feet up.
Yeah.
That's a whole other conversation. But part of it is the early development, and that's how we have our Rising Stars program. Norma, where can people find out more about Rising Stars, and where can they register?
yeah, they can go on the website, sg1soccer.com. There is a graphic really on the front page for registration. And then also information is mostly there on our website, but we post a lot of information on our social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
The other part of this is, Norma, we also have the Extra Time program, which we
Right.
were talking about. And the Extra Time program is exactly what that is. If somebody needs a little bit extra, a little bit more, yes, usually younger players, but we have some older players that are also in need, meaning maybe they didn't get this early on when they
Yeah.
were younger, or they picked up the sport later. Extra Time, along with Coach Axel, will allow us to work with kids, will allow us for them to continue developing, and touches help, and also structure when it comes to those touches is important. Coach Axel, Coach Adam, and this is a program, Extra Time, that's Monday through Friday, 5:30 to 6:30, Westland Campus, East Field. But Norma, I think we had
Yeah,
a question.
yeah, we have a question.
Yeah.
And this is a great question. Do you have to be on an SG1 team to participate in extra time program? And the answer
The answer is
is
no.
no.
No, no.
Yeah.
If you're interested in the sport, if you're interested and you live in the Katy area or community, West Houston, come here and there's a program for everybody, Norma. And
Right.
I say that honestly. Yes, we have elite teams. We've had some great players come through our program that are now playing college soccer and beyond. We have some players that want to do this for their health that are out
Yeah.
here running. We have what's called the training only program,
Right.
where you train with the team, but you don't necessarily play games on the weekend. So as we've grown as a club, Norman, we've been very blessed, even through this COVID year, that we're adjusting and adapting to really the community's needs.
Right.
So the question is, no, you don't have to be a part of SG1 in order to participate in those programs.
Yeah, yeah. So this program overall, Alex, I mean, it would be good, especially if because right now with all of COVID, everything else, a lot of kids are either doing virtual,
Right.
but not only that, kids that are homeschooled,
Right.
and they may not have that activity, PE, like I said. So this is a good program for them to get out, get some fitness in, and learn more about soccer.
And Norma, the homeschool community is huge. I think a lot. I think it's become huger or bigger in COVID. They're basically families that are still homeschooling, basically, even though they may be part of a public school or a private school curriculum. So as I think these programs expand, we may have a daytime program, Norma, soon. I really sense that if there's a need, and if you guys are interested, go to SG1 Soccer, drop us a line, send us an email, and tell us maybe that's something that we can start now.
Yeah.
Maybe at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Great.
And kids can come out, take a break from their school at home, and we can get some training.
And,
I think it's developing.
Right.
It's going
I mean,
that,
for example, Alex, like
that way.
my son was doing virtual. He'll be going back to virtual this next semester. But the thing is, when they do PE, they usually don't do anything.
Right.
It's pretty much like
Well, by the time you change and have to change again, there's
yeah,
30
it's
minutes.
time for your next.
Sure.
So this is I think is a great opportunity for kids to get that extra exercise, especially if they're being homeschooled or virtual.
Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, those are two of the programs we have. The Rising Stars program for the babies, as we call them, the little ones. The Extra Time program, which we just talked about. But also we have ongoing programs for elite players, for
Right.
other players that are also trying to get into the world of soccer. Norma, one of the plans, and I'll kind of talk about this publicly a little bit, is as we expand and grow the concept of SG1, we want to be inclusive to families maybe that haven't been involved in competitive soccer. And yes, there's a cost to this. Yes, there are tournaments. It's an expensive, define expensive, Alex, but certainly it involves time and money. But what we want to do is maybe have these programs be more accessible throughout the city of Houston.
Yeah, and
that's something we're working.
Yeah, and actually, Alex, I mean, I do get a lot of questions that come through on the back end of parents that, have been on the rec side and they don't understand how the competitive side works,
Right.
and they're like, well, I'll get messages as well, where's the registration? Because I just want to sign my child up.
Right.
But it's different in regards to our club because we do an evaluation.
We do? We do.
There we go again. I'm not the only one who does that.
We do?
Aye.
You were saying something very important.
I know. I was saying something really important. See what happens, producers? I forgot I was going to say. What was I saying?
You were talking about how people ask questions and register or something.
Yeah, and they register. See, it'll
I'm
come back
sorry,
to
Norma.
me.
I'm sorry. She tried so
Oh,
hard.
so people.
Yes.
Okay, so it's coming back.
Can we get her on a one shot?
Where's my one shot?
This
Where's
is
my
your
one-
camera
yeah,
right
yeah,
here.
where's my
Right
one
here,
shot?
Norma. Talk to your camera,
so,
Norma.
People want to register, like for, rec league, they just want to be able to sign up and pay.
Right.
But we want the child to come out and they get evaluated.
Of course.
And it could be 1 or 2 days, could be 3, depending on the coach's evaluation. But we want to place that child in the right program for them.
Right.
Because we don't want to overwhelm them. I mean, you've got kids that are in different levels. We'd hate to put a child that, is too advanced into a team that's not advanced.
Well,
Vice versa.
like in school, Norma. I think people can go at their pace, yes.
Right.
But also it's relative to the kids around them. So I didn't mean to cut you off.
See how distracted I got on that?
So anyway, so yes, you got distracted, but you're back on track now, Norma.
Yeah. But
She's a professional. Quickly, we wanted to mention Norma. A lot of the things again, as the club grows and as we're able to have more partners, we mentioned, of course, our sponsors like Mambo Seafood, like Audi, like Federal American Grill, but also on the charitable side, Norma, we just had a great exchange with Destiny. It's Destiny Soccer,
right.
and if you could help us understand better, we collected donations
To this program,
from
really appreciate it. Thank you so
from
much.
the families here at SG1. Where's that equipment that was collected going?
Yeah. So the equipment that we gathered the last week, I want to say week and a half, is actually already been transported
To
to
Nigeria,
Enugu. If I pronounce that, Enugu, Nigeria.
Enugu, Nigeria.
Yes.
I'm not going to correct you. I think you're right.
Hopefully, I said that right.
And it's going to literally a youth club, Norma, that has
Hey,
kids
just want to
playing.
say thank you to
Their
SG1
infrastructure
Soccer.
isn't what we have here,
Thank you
certainly in the
for
United
helping these
States or
kids in
even with
Nigeria.
SG1.
We really appreciate
You,
everybody.
ladies and
that's-
gentlemen, by donating a used pair of cleats of shoes, you're really making someone's
That's
soccer
this
dream
program.
a reality.
Right.
Really, really
These kids,
appreciate
I
it.
mean,
Thank you so
look,
much.
They're playing soccer with flip flops,
That's amazing.
barefooted.
Wow.
I mean, they don't have really the gear to be able to enjoy the sport.
Right.
And so for us to be able to provide used and or new equipment to them is great. And this program, Destiny Soccer Academy, their whole motto is basically helping these kids get, taking them away from any drug interactions,
Sure.
helping them with school, and focusing more on the soccer aspect to get their mind, their time off of the other stuff.
That's
So-
great. I'm glad we're partnering with them, and as you can see on the screen, or we're able to see, we've collected. But it's gonna be an ongoing collection process, right,
Yeah,
Norma?
yeah.
If you're interested in donating, Norma will help us. But real quick, before we talk more about that, here's the director of the program, and he was out at Westland just recently. Let's hear what he had to say. Maybe we'll see. All right, so he was very grateful, trust me, for the donations, and maybe we'll get that back, and you guys can listen to it. But we were thankful that the gentleman was here picking up the donations, Norma. But it'll be ongoing here at SG1.
Yeah, it's going to be ongoing, Alex. I mean, we were only going to, because this is the thing, they only do 2 main deliveries to Enugu, which is the beginning of the year, and another one at the end of the year. But we know that families will clean out closets, kids will outgrow shoes, whatever. So what we decide is we're still going to gather either new or used equipment.
Right.
In the meantime, until their next shipment at the end of the year. So we will still have our boxes out at each entrance on the east and south field. So whenever you're ready, whenever you do your spring cleaning, spring's coming up.
All right.
Bring
So, I
whatever.
hope very soon, Norma, because we're still in winter apparently. Let's see. If Mr. Producer could close his channel, that would be great. That would help me a little bit, Mr. Producer. We love you, Mr. Producer, and even more. Sorry. If you could close his mic, that would be great. Thank you, Mr. Producer. Sorry, we couldn't hear ourselves think. I'm a diva, Norma. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
This is how it is.
This
to
is
work
how
with
it
a
is.
diva.
The other aspect we wanted to mention, Norma, right now, high school soccer, after last week, there were a lot of postponements.
Yeah.
I think you and your daughter's high school team got in maybe literally the last night. You were like in the 20s playing, right?
Oh yeah, it was freezing.
It
well,
was.
it was. I shouldn't say that because it was cold. It wasn't
was
as
cold.
freezing as the past days.
Yeah.
So I'll take it. But yeah, it was cold. I mean, we at least got the last game in on Friday.
But there's been a whole week. At
a
least.
whole week, and a lot of the high school games are going to wind up having
Right.
to be rescheduled. So some of those teams will probably have to play 3 games
Exactly.
this coming week, and maybe 3. I don't know. Every schedule's
It's
going to be different.
it's going to get it's going to get tricky in the next couple of weeks because I've got to get all these games in.
Right.
So the reason I'm mentioning that, Norma, is because we're also proud sponsors of the I-10 Shootout. We've mentioned this in a couple of programs recently. But for us, it's a joy to be helping young ladies through the I-10 Shootout. And what happens next, Norma, is the best part. That now, soon, they'll have the opportunity to ask for a scholarship.
Yep.
And then that's what it's all about, right? Helping these young ladies go on to college.
Yeah, it definitely. I mean, the thing is, with getting these scholarships, it'll help them, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be playing college ball, but it's any financial help helps. And with I-10 Shootout, that's their goal, and we always continue to support them as well.
Absolutely. So we thank the I-10 Shootout Tournament Association for allowing us to be a part of this, and we can't wait for next year's tournament. Hopefully, things will be getting a little bit better. So
Right.
let's take a quick break. When we come back, a very special guest, Norma, here with us, live, SG1 Live at our Westland campus. Ivan Gonzalez, one of our coaches, and he'll be talking about how he just completed his C license course.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot. So on behalf of Norma, I'm Alex. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back here on SG1 Live. Welcome back into another edition of SG1 Live. Today, live from our Westland campus in Katy, Texas. I'm Alex. Beside me, Norma Morales. Norma, how are you? You're okay?
Yeah, good, Alex.
Are you hungry?
It's about that time.
It's about that time. About that time. But first of all, Norma, it's just great to be back outside.
Yeah.
In reasonable weather. It's nice out, isn't it? A
Yeah,
little sunny.
I'm not going to complain, Alex.
No complaints.
No complaints on my end.
No complaints. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you and your family and your families around you are doing well and have gotten over this well. It really was I want to use the word catastrophic week. I mean, there's no other way to put it. Even during hurricanes, it hasn't been this bad post-hurricane, right?
No. I'm just glad that majority of the people have their electricity.
Right.
And hoping that everyone 100% get their electricity back. The only thing I think we're with
Missing?
the boiling water,
Yeah.
Is a big issue right now. So hopefully that we can overcome that very soon.
Electricity's back, hopefully water, and hopefully our sanity, Norma, will be back soon.
I hope so.
Yeah? Mine's been gone for a long time. Today here at our Westland campus, we have a very special guest, one of our directors, a young man who actually has been, I think officially he's still the coach of the year right? Because we haven't voted that again. We've had so many issues
Yeah,
lately.
every time something has come up, so he will still be it until someone is named the new
Yeah.
coach of the year.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
he's still
He
ongoing.
still has the crown.
I know. I know. Norma wants to be it, so be ready, because she's fighting
I
tooth
can't
and
be
nail.
coach of the year.
You can be something of the year, Norma.
Oh.
We'll give you something. So it's our great honor right now to welcome in Coach Ivan Gonzalez to the show. First of all, Ivan, how are you, sir? And I hope you and your family are doing well after this week. Welcome.
Yeah, no. For me, in all honesty, it's been a blessing. So far, we've had electricity, we've had running water, and everything's been going pretty well. No issues in the sense of not having power or what's it called? The things
Burst pipes?
bursting, burst
Yeah,
pipes,
yeah.
and things of that nature. But thankfully, our cul-de-sac is very consistent, and we've been having a lot of help from our neighbors, and everything's been doing
You
pretty
mentioned something interesting, Coach. That neighbors, friends. I mean, I literally got to know my neighbors this week. I
Really?
had no idea who they were, or they didn't want to talk to me before. But out of necessity, right, Coach Ivan, we all have to come together.
Oh yeah, no, it's a given, especially in times of great tragedy or even great calamity. We just have to come together in some way, shape, or form. But I've been very blessed to have very wonderful neighbors from all different backgrounds and different types of professions. We have
Really?
plumbers, contractors,
Oh,
there's
wow.
people that do drywall.
They just happen to be there.
happen to be there.
Well, you got the best cul-de-sac in Houston right
I
now.
know. Now you want to
right?
relocate to his area now,
I
right?
do.
Yeah.
And does someone cook there too?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
definitely.
where do you
Oh,
live?
wow.
Give us the
I
address,
know,
please.
right?
I think we need to head over there, Norma.
Or maybe if this happens again, we're all just gonna have to camp out at Ivan's house.
What's the address, Ivan? We'll go there. We brought you in, number one, to again talk about how great you are. It must get old, I imagine. But you really are one of our. I wish there were more coaches like Ivan in the club. Let's just put it that way. Your dedication, your knowledge, and speaking of that, you just spent, I think it was 3 or 4 days up in the Austin area, and you completed your C license. I do this. This means C in Alex sign language. Your C license course. First of all, tell us about the process of getting to your C license course and why it's important. Obviously, there's A, B, C, D, E licenses, but this is a national C license.
Yeah, no, like for me, or actually backtrack. So the C license this year was actually a lot different. It's a bit of a hybrid. So what we had to undergo was typically like you would typically go to the actual site, spend about 10 days, and go back to your team,
Right.
do sessions, do film, and then go back and do another 10 days. But in this sort of setting, we did a hybrid. So we were online for about a good portion of the time, every single week, about twice or 3 times a week. And essentially the workload actually tripled from based off what we normally would do.
Wow.
But aside from that, it's like we started in October and we ended in January. And so within that month span, actually maybe even started beforehand, but not important.
So
Those are the first initial dates.
4 to 5 months of work.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just nonstop. In all honesty, I think the hardest thing for us was being able to do things online to adapt and to understand what is it that the instructors wanted.
Right.
Communication was a huge gap, and not to mention being able to have that one-to-one interaction with the other coaches. It was almost impossible.
And speaking of other coaches, I think we're pulling up a photo from the session in the Austin area. How many coaches participated in this particular course?
We were a cohort of about 30. So about
Wow.
30 coaches. Yeah.
Male, female? I'm interested in the ratio.
Actually, it was all male except for one female.
Norma,
Yeah.
that you see, you need to get in there,
You know
Norma.
what? I know. I know. And why is that? Why do you think that it's just such a male dominant? You know, why is it so male dominant?
In all honesty, I don't know. It's one of those things where I would love to see more women come up into the ranks like anything else and have those opportunities. For me personally, I mean, it's just a different aspect, a different way of coaching, and even so, they could provide a nurturing aspect that men just may not be able to provide. A good example is actually our recently signed Diana with the Rising Stars program.
Coach Diana, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And
yes.
even so, like with Rising Stars and even with the pre-academy, and she has this nurturing, very patient demeanor.
Right.
And a lot of the boys actually were able to open up a little bit better because of her stance and perspectives.
And let me ask you, when we talk about the licensing process, I know back in my day it was, well, you played, you had a certain level, you took a written test, and you ran a session. It was relatively simple. I know it's become more complex, I think because of the demand maybe. It's also expensive. Let's talk about that. What did the course cost?
The course in itself was about 1,600
$1,600, not pesos.
and
Just to be
dollars.
clear.
Just for that particular course.
Just for the course, and
Okay.
that's like without the expense of travel and just
Right.
everything else in between. And even so, I know some of the coaches actually had to buy either equipment or even so rent out equipment just for their videos sessions on the field.
Interesting. Interesting. So
But, yeah.
it's a commitment when it comes to time, when
Yeah.
it comes to finances,
Oh, yeah.
the money side. Now, what did you learn? If you had to summarize what you learned, other than perseverance, what did you learn to say, okay, I'm now a C-level coach? I know that's maybe a trick question, but
Yeah, no,
you've earned it. But what have you learned?
I would have to say, I mean, just coming from like the D license to the C license in transition, the main thing that we probably emphasize a little bit more is how we analyze the games,
Right.
and how we analyze the different portions, the information that's provided, and even so, how we're able to see the opponent and our own opponent, and how we can provide that information and create sessions from it.
In-game adjustments, is that part of it maybe also, or less? Is it still oriented more toward the training side versus the live match side?
Yeah, no,
Does that make sense?
it's still orientated towards like the training side.
Right.
The main aspects that they're looking for is the trends, how this team is able to play a certain way, and how our team is able to adapt to whatever that they're doing. And so, being able to break that down into our sessions, we would have to go into like anything else: warm up, orientation, learning, and then implementation. Uh, Analyzing the game in itself is important for us to know what is it that the boys or the girls need within within that game. So after everything's over, the analysis will provide us the information needed to be able to create those sessions and how we can make a game like.
Talking to Coach Ivan Gonzalez, our very proud C license now coach. What's next for you as far as the actual licensing process? You're going to continue on to your B and your A?
Yeah, actually, the goal is to pretty much get all the way to the A, if possible. Right now, I'm still learning, still expanding, still trying to find different things and how I could be an effective coach on the field. Not to mention just for any age group, from
Sure.
the youngest kids all the way up to the oldest ones. I just finished actually a couple of TOVO courses. It's a total football, sort of Dutch methodology, and just stacking on itself and just learning from there. So, yeah.
Part of this, Ivan, and I always monopolize Norma. I promise I'll hand you the microphone. Norma gets mad at me. Is also now taking the knowledge from others. It wasn't just about, hey, I'm going through my sessions at the course, at the license course, but it's also learning from other coaches, right?
Yeah.
That to me, the biggest and best part is you're always learning as a coach, as a trainer. Every day I learn something new from you, from others, different perspective. I've been blessed that I've been so-called coach, a player, a referee. Different eyes just help us learn the sport, learn the game better, right?
Oh yeah. As far as our cohort, now we didn't really see each other until the final day, but I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I networked pretty quickly, and so in this sort of nature, I created like a WhatsApp chat group with like about with about 22 of our coaches
Right.
that were part of that program, and that's how we just got to be able to exchange ideas and help each other along the way. I will say I did get closer with my instructors, and big shout out to Tom. Tom was the instructor at our group. And,
Tom, thank you, Tom.
yeah, Mr. Tom Brown of Sam Houston State.
Okay.
So yeah, and he very, very wonderful person in the sense of how he breaks things down. He's very Yoda-like. Probably the best way to describe him.
He's little and green?
He's little, but not green.
Okay.
But in that sort of setting, it's like being able to see the different perspectives, all these different coaches, and what they've learned over the course of time. Even though you're a D-licensed coach, that doesn't mean that you don't have the experience of a seasoned coach. If
Correct.
that makes sense.
Sure.
You're just getting the how to say documented paper.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Sure. Well, it's all part of the process. Miss Norma.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yes. Sorry,
Is it
Norma.
my
I'll
turn?
be quiet
Oh,
now. I'll
okay.
just be quiet and look pretty.
No,
Go ahead.
No, what drives you to do this? Because, just hearing what you're saying makes me want to, just get my license just because I want to get my license. You know what I mean? But what drives you to do this?
That depends. You want the truth or the lie?
Truth.
I'm joking.
I
No.
want the truth. Yeah, I want the truth.
In this sort of case, for me, it's very hard to describe. It's one of those things where it's always been a passion of mine. I've always wanted to be in some way, shape, or form a part of a community that's able to bring up, in this case, youth,
Right.
in the most simplest way. whether it be in high school, where I used to teach at Westside High School, and so like being able to be a part of their lives and seeing them progress is one aspect. But for me, my passion has always been soccer. Um, I've always been a person that likes to learn, whether it be in college, whether it be in doing the C license, USSF sort of things. I've always been a student of whatever, student of the game,
Right.
student of whatever thing, whatever I
You're
undergo.
learning our broadcast now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's another
Certainly,
aspect.
certainly improved, right? If we got rid of a host or two. I'm
And-
sorry, Ivan. You were saying?
And in this sort of setting, it's one of those things where I like being with other young individuals and seeing their hopes and dreams be heard, being that nurturing individual that brings them up, and just being a part of their lives, like I said, in some way, shape, or form. For me, I've always been a person is what can I do to adapt? Like just like in the classroom, I've never been a person that forces kids to adapt to me. It's more the exact opposite. I adapt to them.
Sure.
What is it that they need of me? And I guess after asking myself those types of questions, I tend to want to pursue the higher notions of things where I'm in, let's say, like with my 2007 group or my 2008 group. How can I best retrofit them? Or with my 02, 03 group. It's always a learning process. And for me, you always have to be humble and try to learn something new. It's like you're never going to stop. It's always going to be something where you might have learned these aspects before, but this new generation that comes in might need something else. And so within that setting, you always want to be a person that just wants to improve from what you did before. Yeah.
I like. If we had applause on our special effects, we'd be applauding right now or
Oh,
crying.
nice.
Or crying.
Or crying.
And I have one more question before you jump
Yeah,
in.
no,
again,
I'm
because I know
sorry.
you'll jump in.
No.
So,
All right, go for it.
you know, with SG1, you are over the boys' academy. Do you ever see yourself maybe wanting to coach on the girls' side?
You know what's weird? Okay, so now that you're talking about this,
Yeah.
there's actually
Norma
been,
had a good question. Let me write that.
I always
down.
have good questions, Alex. Don't underestimate me.
Never.
Yeah.
I know there's actually a girl that recently is a part of the 2012 group. Her name is Evie.
Mhm.
Seeing individuals like that, or even so, Zulianne is another girl within the 2011 group. Those types of girls really inspire me to want to make that jump to do girls. Beforehand, I was actually intimidated by them.
Right.
In all honesty, just very fearful of just like the type of person that I am and how
Women in general are trouble.
Hey,
We'll talk
hey.
about that later.
That's on a separate note. But in any case,
That's another show.
yeah, no, just like their sessions and how you communicate with them and what they need of you is vastly different from boys.
Right,
It is.
right. It's
And
different.
so I've just always been intimidated, in all honesty. Like it's just I kind of like get into that mode where my own personality shifts just because it's girls. Whereas with boys, it's a very demanding, structured way.
It's slightly different. Great question, Norma. Just for the record, very good question. I'll follow up by saying psychologically, what have you learned? Because coaching is about motivation in many ways,
Right.
and
Yeah.
giving your players confidence to go out there and perform on the field, even if maybe they're not the best. Did these courses helped you approach the game psychologically different? Did you learn that?
Yes.
That's a huge aspect of what we do.
Yeah, you know what? I've learned in this sort of setting, just on top of each other, I've always been very proactive in certain ways, like within the session or whatever that we're doing on the field.
Right.
I've always been, I see a mistake and immediately just go in and start to correct. Whereas over the course of time, I've learned to let the kids do the mistakes first. First, get a good aspect of what is it that the trends are happening, like what do they do naturally, and then slowly you adjust as you go. And as you increase within what you are demanding, and as over the course of weeks and things of that nature, it's like you could increase in the in the rigor and in the drive and how you communicate. But I've learned to first be patient, wait and see, and then correct. Whereas I've always been just exact opposite, where I see a mistake and I just jump
right
into
in.
it.
Yeah.
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 But,
Well,
yeah.
Coach, we are proud to have you number one on the show today.
Yeah,
We're
okay.
proud to have you
Fantastic.
be part of SG1 Soccer Club in general, and the sky's the limit. Ivan, keep learning, keep striving, and like you said, we all learn every day. So I know you'll get your B. I know you'll get your A one day, and one day you'll be sitting beside Norma doing the show. Cause
Yeah, you and I could do the takeover. we did actually get a comment from Lena Lee. Says Eli says hi, and he's excited to see you on.
Oh, fantastic! How's it going, Eli?
Yeah, so glad
Shout out to
they're joining
Eli,
us.
and of course the 2007 boys black team. They're
Eli's awesome, by the way.
oh yeah, no, fantastic player. And in all honesty, he's come a long
He's a
way.
great young man, by the way, too. And actually, he had an injury and he's come back. So,
Yeah.
so definitely finding a way. Coach, we can't thank you enough.
You know,
We
and also,
really
thank you.
we appreciate your patience today. I don't know. Norma was late. Something about her legal team working on the contract. I don't know, but we finally were able to get on the air. I'm kidding about that. But Ivan, any other shout outs or anyone else you want to thank? I mean, I'm sure your family's been an important part of your success.
Oh yeah, no, like in all honesty, just coming in towards my family, my mom, my dad, my sister, of course.
Why do you giggle? What's your sister's name, by the way?
Yeah, what's
her
name?
name's Astrid, and
Astrid.
she's
Can I call her Astrid?
Astrid.
yeah, Astrid.
That's
yeah.
a great name.
And in all honesty, like she's somebody that's like very very close to me, close to my heart, and she's almost like a second mom. It's the best way to describe it. Of course, friends, my housemates. They're my best friends in all honesty. And in this case, just SG1 in general, like you guys. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Adam. And even so, just very blessed to have a lot of wonderful people that have been. Oh, and of course, Coach Brian. Shout out to Coach Brian.
Coach Brian Morgan.
Ryan Morgan.
Yep.
The OG. of the club.
We're waiting for him to come back.
Yeah. No,
I told him he just needs to move back to Houston.
Oh yeah, no, like as he said before, all he needs is $6,000 and in the contract, and he's good to go.
And he's in.
But-
we're working on that
We're
one, Brian.
working
Yeah.
on that.
We'll call
and,
you.
and we'll continue to visit him when we are in Dallas. So, and every time we do go to Dallas, we try to at least meet up with him somehow. I saw him the last tournament we had at Dallas. He came and watched us, so it's always
Oh,
a
yeah.
treat to see
Oh
him.
man, I can tell you some adventures that we had.
I don't want to know.
Yeah, we don't wanna
No. Well, thank you for being with us, Ivan. And it's all part of the journey. So I'm proud of you. We're proud of you, and keep learning, young man, and keep growing.
Yeah.
No, definitely. Thank you so much.
No,
Thank you
our
for having me.
pleasure. So, Ms. Norma, with that, what we're going to do now is take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about what's going on with SG1. And if you, ladies and gentlemen, have questions or comments, please send them our way through the social media,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Quick break. We'll be back with more of SG1 Live. Welcome back in to SG1 Live. What day is today, Norma? 20th of February,
I have no idea, Alex.
2021. I'm Alex Parra. Beside me, the lovely and talented Norma Morales. Why am I not lovely and talented? Because I'm not lovely or talented, right? Norma, wasn't it great to talk to Coach Ivan?
It was. And we're so blessed to have him,
We are.
Alex.
We are. We
within
really
the
are.
club. Yeah.
We really are. So thank you again to Coach Ivan Gonzalez. He's now got his C license course. I'm so excited for him, Norma.
Yeah, and he wants to go for his A.
He should. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I think it's
Well,
great.
wrong. He's more than capable of doing that.
And so what do you have? What license?
What do you? I have a C
Z-
license.
Z?
Z. No, I never got to the A or the B license, Norma.
Would you think about going to that next level?
I don't know if at my age that interests me per
Why?
se. I guess I'm contradicting myself here. It's always good to learn. The process has definitely become more expensive and time consuming, which is good. One of the criticisms, and I'll throw out my 2 cents of the licensing process is that, okay, you're throwing money at the U.S. Soccer Federation for them to tell you you're already doing a job you're doing, formalizing your education, which I see that. And now it's a requirement, actually, to coach at the highest levels, certainly professional.
Right.
Div 1 schools are asking for A licensed coaches.
Wow.
Does that make you a better coach to have it on paper? That's debatable.
No,
but-
but that's the same thing, just like a job, Alex. You
Well,
know,
like a degree,
your
right?
degree.
Yeah.
You have it on paper, but does that mean like you're going to be the best? You're going to get the best employee? We don't know.
Not necessarily.
Right.
I'm sure there's some A licensed coaches that probably don't know too much, and some non-licensed coaches that know a lot.
Just interviewing Ivan is actually encouraging me just to at least get some kind of license.
Get your driver's license first. Let's start with that one, right?
I bought my beauty license.
Your beauty license. You're a beauty school dropout, aren't you, Norma?
No, I'm serious. I think it's encouraging.
No, it is. Well, and I mean, he's still young and he's got talent.
I'm still young and I got talent still.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
So,
come on. I'm sure Adam will at least give me 8 team. I'm sure there's players out there that would love to have me as a coach.
at this club?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll,
sure.
I'll start with the Rising Stars. I'll talk to Coach Mike. Maybe he can give me a Rising Stars.
Because apparently Uncle Alex is not letting any of this happen.
You'll be coming out. I'll be coming in. We're losing a coach and
It
bringing more quality coaches in.
certainly couldn't hurt. Let me tell you
Well,
that
that's
right
what Adam
now.
said. He wants to bring more quality coaches in.
That means I'm out.
Exactly.
What
So
does
you're
that
out.
mean?
I'm in. But it's a switch.
I did like his comment, though, about coaching young ladies.
Yeah.
I've been blessed to coach both men, women, boys, and girls. I prefer coaching young ladies. I'm just saying that straight up. They
Yeah.
listen more. They focus more. Boys tend to be all over the place, and also at a certain age they start rebelling. Women are not. The girls, the young ladies that I've coached haven't gone to those extremes.
Yeah. I mean, it's different. And then, of course, you have to have a different style of coaching.
Absolutely,
for
you do.
both
You do.
Boys
You do.
and girls. Because I've seen Coach Ivan, like, he's on top of the boys. Like,
The military,
well,
right?
but he expects a lot, meaning, which is good. He wants his kids to be on time, which his kids listen.
Discipline's
Their
important.
Discipline is important, and he expects them to have their uniform on. He expects certain things, but that just teaches the kids responsibility, being disciplined, because this is not only that they're going to learn on the soccer, but they'll take that as they get older into other avenues of their life and their career, and teach that to their kids, etc.
Norma, it's the little things that make the difference between winning and losing.
Right.
It's the focus, the concentration. Are you really in and focused on a game from beginning to end?
Right.
It's those mental lapses that you have either individually or as a team that can cost you games.
Right.
Especially when you start getting, like many of our teams, I would dare say most of our teams, at a highly competitive level.
Right.
The differences are just a few breaks here and there, but it all has to do with the little things. If you can prepare mentally, if you can focus, if you can say, I know that situation because I've lived it,
Right.
those are the aspects. So to answer your question, though, I love coaching. I believe I'm a reasonable coach. It's always good. She may not agree with me. But it's always good to keep learning.
No, it's
So-
always
so
it's always.
if you want to
good
get your license, Norma, I'll pay for it. Let me
What?
put
Y'all
it
heard
that
it
way.
here.
You
Y'all
heard
heard
it
it
here.
here. No, I think it's good for me to actually, because the thing is it's good to always see what the coaches go through in regards to
Sure.
the licensing process. But I've played soccer before, Alex, so it's not like
Eh.
I'm coming in and not knowing the sport.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's like me coming in and trying to learn beauty school. Like I have no earthly idea.
That's obvious. Yes. You set me up for that one, Norma. I had to go there. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. My cord keeps invading me, Norma. I don't know what I need a cord
You need to be
assistant.
professional like me. You need
I
to
don't know how you
you
swung
need to
that,
it's
but
ki-
you made it
You
happen.
should do it like how you do your locks. Every time you do your locks, exactly, you've got to like swing it to
My mullet, you
your
mean?
mullet.
Leave my mullet out of this.
Your
I know
locks.
one of our producers loves. I think our producer, Nicholas, one day will have a mullet.
You think so?
I know so. It's coming back.
I see. He's
He's
not.
a- he's
he's
a mullet
actually
kinda guy.
nodding. He's nodding.
He's a mullet kind of guy.
Yeah.
He's a mullet. I like it.
I'd like to see him in a mullet.
Yeah. And Enrique and I will have mullet wigs. That's what we'll have at this point. So we'll give that a try. Norma, we're finally outside. We're finally, at least I think we're having fun. Some of you watching may be completely bored, but we're enjoying this, Norma. We're so excited about coming back. I really am. After the week many of us have lived here in Texas, oh, wow, I can't wait to get back on the fields and just focus on this.
Yeah, and being able to get the kids back out. You know, they've been stuck inside, giving them that fresh air, getting back to normal, I should say.
Just smell
it's
good
what
out
we're
here.
looking for. I mean, I right now the fields are so empty, which they should be on a Saturday right now. Our fields.
Well, normally they would be. Are you encouraging people to come
No,
out?
that's
Norma?
what I'm saying. Our fields are private, just by the way. But you know, the thing is that I'm looking forward to Monday, the kids coming back, seeing the parents, getting back to normal, and just getting back to
normal.
normal.
Whatever normal is. Norma, if you have questions or comments, let me know, please. Today, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, we're live streaming on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, on Twitch. The Twitch?
Finally, we are streaming across multiple social media
platforms. Finally. It's taking us,
I mean,
at this rate, we'll have a really good show in about 3 years. Compelling.
which, by the way, we've
Interesting.
been doing this show for over a year, and people probably didn't know that. But
Oh, I'm sure they knew that. They're
we
like,
should have done a 1 year anniversary. We got to look to
It's
see when our
time?
year. We got to look to see when our 1 year anniversary was. And
how about next
celebrate
week?
It.
Next week, it's our 1 year.
Well, I'll look. I'll go back to see
Okay.
when we first. It'd be interesting to see.
Do I have to buy you something?
Yeah, it's an anniversary gift.
Here we
We'll
go.
see what our anniversary is. Yeah. Oh, we'll exchange gifts on there.
We'll exchange gifts.
How about that?
Here's a rundown, Norma. Happy anniversary.
From a year ago.
From a year ago. You'll get a picture of me signed. I know you can't wait, right? No? This is the way I live my life. It's all about me.
I think people are figuring that out.
Oh, they've known that for a while,
Oh,
Norma.
yeah. It's
They've
all
known
about
that
you.
for a
That you need
while.
a shirt. It's all about me.
All about me. If the questions, comments, let me know, Norma. I'm gonna see if we can switch out to so.
You gonna check your other social media?
I am. I'm gonna give that a shot here. Yeah, Lena says hi. I think we've already talked about Lena. Several of you watching, we appreciate it. We really do, because without you, we would be nothing.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. And while you're looking at Twitter, anything on Twitter, while you're looking at that, Alex, just to
Yes,
let people
please.
know that if you are interested in joining our SG1 family,
Yes.
you could visit us on sg1soccer.com, register your child for a free evaluation if you'd like for them to join us, or any program that we have, our Extra Time program, Rising Stars program. We've got it all.
We've got it all. We also have, Norma, some camps coming up. I don't know if spring break maybe changed a little bit because
I don't know.
of this past week.
Yeah, that I
but
know they were
please.
working on that, so we'll see. Hopefully, we'll get some information if they decide. I'm sure they'll decide to go through with it, but I guess we'll have to see and what the update is on that.
We will. So we'll figure out dates and times for that. Norma, we're also preparing, believe it or not, for tryouts. They're right around the corner. Meaning, what does that mean? Evaluations of our existing players, taking a look at new players that want to be part of the SG1 family. We'll start doing that in April, May. And
Yeah.
before you know it, it's time to think about summer programs and hopefully COVID in the rearview mirror,
I'm
freezing
hoping.
temperatures in the rearview mirror, and looking ahead.
I'm hoping, Alex.
Me too, Norma.
I'm hoping.
It's been a tough week, hasn't it?
It's been the tough
Year and a half.
year and a half, I should say.
Well, if you think about it, it was right about this time last year that the COVID started. It was in March.
Yeah,
So late February, early March. I remember March 8th, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah.
Was the day that rings in my mind. So we're almost going a year into COVID. I hear and I'm seeing evidence of obviously people getting their vaccinations. In general, the numbers going down. So I'm hopeful, Norma.
Yeah, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that we'll get through all this and we get back to at least somewhat normal.
Whatever
Yeah.
normal is.
Whatever normal is. Yeah.
Yeah. Norma, we also, I know we have several other people that are joining the SG1 family on the admin side. We have two young ladies. Maybe you want to mention them that have joined
Yeah.
us, and we're excited. Maybe we'll have them on the show next week.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, we should. It's about time. We had some talented people on the show, other than me.
Ah. I mean, we've grown so much, Alex, that we've had to expand our admin team with everything that we're doing.
And the admin team incompetence also didn't help. What? I'm kidding, Norma. Not really.
But we did have Bianca Soto, who has joined SG1.
Bianca, welcome.
Welcome. And then Salma also, too, has joined us on our media side as well as our...
Good. So we'll be happy to maybe get postings about them, Norma,
Yeah.
and if you see them around the fields, please welcome them. I know we really are a family, Norma. There's so many people that I run into, and it's just about keeping up with each other.
Yeah, we're one big family.
We are. So we're all going to the pool party at Norma's. Is that tonight? How's your
My
pool?
pool is still defrosted. I think everyone who has a pool right now is defrosted.
We'll try. Let's see. I know they're trying to tell me something. Hopefully they will. But yeah. So welcome to the ladies. Welcome to admin side. And by the way, Norma, on the national level, I know we've got two coaches here on SG1 coaches that play for the Houston Dash. So we're excited about their season starting up soon. The Houston Dynamo professional team will be starting out in April 17th, I'm being told. So we're excited about the start of their season. And the national team, the U.S. women's national team, I think they beat Canada 1-0 in, I forgot the name of the cup. Someone can help me out.
I
But
just
they're playing their next match tomorrow against Brazil. So that should be
That's going to be a
interesting.
good one.
Should be. Is Marta still playing? She Believes Cup. It's the She Believes Cup.
Yeah. And did you watch the Canada?
I did not. I watched highlights.
Oh,
My
I
TV
did-
was dark, Norma. I couldn't watch.
I did have electricity at that time,
I
and
missed that.
I did get to watch. It was a great game. It was very great.
Who's the young lady that scored? I forgot her name, man. She's my favorite. Rose Lavelle. Rose Lavelle. So 1-0. So, and it's great. I mean, Norma, I know one day we're going to have ladies that come out of SG1, that come out of the Houston area, that'll be on those national teams. So the women's national team. But that's the level of talent we have here, and commitment. And I think it's about the culture that we create. We are part of the soccer community, and it's this culture we want to create where people are being challenged and also in a positive way and enjoying the journey.
Yeah,
Do you enjoy the journey, Norma?
With you, no. With the rest of our SG1 family, yes.
At least you're honest.
Yeah.
Right.
This is a raw show, real show, right?
Oh, it's really raw. Maybe we're going to have Senator Cruz join us next week, Norma, and he can explain away the Cancun trip. Would you have gone to Cancun, Norma?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
No?
Not at that time.
And the Ritz-Carlton is only $300 a night. That's
I
not
know,
bad,
right?
Right? That's not bad.
$300 a night?
That's not bad, huh? I say we go to Cancun, Norma.
Yeah.
No, I say we go to Katy, and Monday we're ready for training.
Yeah, I think that we can't go to Cancun, Alex. So, yeah, we've got to prep for Monday.
Yeah, well, if I go back, they're not going to let me come back in here, so I've got to be careful with that. Norma, anybody you want to shout out to? Any other questions, comments? But by the way, before we go today, we can't thank our production team enough. We had a couple of hurdles to get through.
A couple.
But we finally believe, all Uncle Alex's fault. We finally believe we're getting a good technical show. Now, Norma, if you could just improve your performance, this is going to be a great show. I'm just kidding, Norma. Norma, the final word is yours.
You're already out the door, Alex.
The final word is yours,
The
Norma.
final word. So I'm glad everyone has joined us today, Alex, and thank you for being with me. Even though you struggled to get out of bed today, I'm glad you're here.
I know, Norma. But, I've been drinking a lot lately, so maybe that explains it.
Yeah, so thanks everyone for joining us, though.
That's it? You ready?
Do you want me to really close it? I thought
All right.
I thought you usually
No,
get...
Norma's going to close it. Mr. Producer, we're going on Norma. Norma's closing it out.
Are you letting me close?
Take it away, Norma.
Okay, so thanks everyone for joining us today. We hope to see you next week, same time, 11 o'clock, SG1 Live here on Facebook and across other social media platforms.